all your faces. I know that I have an ugly face. That I know. Huh? And I know that you guys have very beautiful faces. But at least be merciful upon a person that does not have a beautiful face like me, so that we can at least see you and get some beauty in our body. Huh? So I want all of you to sing together with me. All right? Please unmute yourself and sing together with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, you're all familiar with our national anthem, isn't it? Twameva mata chapitam, twameva bandu chasaka, twameva vidya dravinam, twameva sharanam, mama deva. Twameva mata chapitam, twameva bandu chasaka, twameva vidya dravinam, twameva sharanam, mama deva. Twameva sharanam, mama deva. Twameva sharanam, mama deva. You are my father, you are my mother, you are my friend, you are my shelter. You are the one that I hold to my heart. You are the Lord of all creation. You are the Lord of all creation. You are the Lord of all creation. You are my father, you are my mother, you are my friend, you are my shelter. You are the one that I hold to my heart. You are the Lord of all creation. Twameva mata chapitam, twameva bandu chasaka, twameva vidya dravinam, twameva sharanam, mama deva. Om Agyanat Mirandasya Gyanam Salakaya Shakshurumilitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Dev Maheshwaram, Guru Shakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Dev Maheshwaram, Guru Shakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So, singing the glories and glorification to the teacher is very important, for there is nothing that we have in life that came to us without the mercy of a teacher. So let us sing together. You know the song? Okay. Amazing grace, I sing thy song that saved a soul like me. I was once lost, but now I am found. Was blind, so blind, but now Thank you very much, everybody. We are grateful to have each and every one of you here with us. So, today is a Friday. We are having our weekly journey of self-discovery class. Today being a Friday. We were supposed to have this class last week, but because my body was heavily clouded with sleep and my eyes was very heavy. So because of that, we could not have the class. I apologize, because, on this apologies, sometimes the mind wants something, the intelligence is willing, but the body is weak. So sometimes it happens like that. So apologies to you guys. So before we start our conversation today, a quick understanding of the purpose of Sukhavani Yoga Foundation. I believe many of you are very much in alignment and aware of the foundation, what the foundation is for. Have any of you read the mission statement of the foundation? Huh? Did you read it or you've not read it? It is there. Just click on the media section and you're going to see the document. In the document section, you're going to see the mission statement of the foundation. You're going to see the rules of the foundation. So there are 5 purposes of Sukhavani Yoga Foundation. Number 1 is to enlighten the minds of common men. That you guys already know. Number 2, to be a beacon of hope, guiding troubled minds back on the path of truthful and sincere living. Number 3, to simplify ancient mysteries. And number 4, to help people find the light within themselves, not outside of themselves, but within themselves. And the last is to be a steady light that shines for others to find themselves. And using this point, we are going to start our conversation today on the psychology of man's possible evolution. I believe that many of you are already aware with what is called psychology, and many of you are already like, okay, evolution. What again is there in evolution? What again do I need to understand? Many people have given many explanation on evolution. Charles Darwin has given an explanation on evolution. Newton, the law of gravity, is also part of, Isaac Newton's law of gravity is also part of evolution. Many ancient teachers has given so many theories on the possible psychology of man. But what is this evolution? What is it that is in a man that must evolve? What is it that is in the man that is evolving? What is it that is in the man that he's trying to evolve? Until we sit down and truly question ourselves on this matter, it becomes very, very difficult to truly understand it. Because what we all know as evolution is, what is it that makes me to think? What is making my mind to function? Our evolution is basically based on the psychology of what we have understood from our environment, the psychology of what we've picked up from our environment, the psychology of what people have said to us from our environment. This is what we understand. But what if I tell you that there's something far deeper than that? There is something far, deeper than this psychology of what we are already, used to. To understand the psychology of man's possible evolution, we must ask ourselves the most important question. And that question is, who am I? It is important to ask ourselves this question. For The understanding of who am I is the beginning of of looking into the deeper psychological nature of man. It is the beginning of looking at yourself. It is the beginning of not just only looking at yourself, but seeing yourself. And because it is the beginning of truly seeing yourself, it is the beginning of understanding what makes you, you. So, before I start, I want you all to please join your hand together, join your palms together, and please unmute your, put on your video so I can see your face. Join your palms together like this, and I want you to repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you. The essence of reciting this is you cannot understand you without not giving reverence to the infinite one that pervades the whole universe of creation. So it is important to always give reverence to that infinite being that is the Vasudev, that is present in all atoms, cosmic, and all movement of the universal circumference is present there. So to understand the psychology of man, to understand my psychology, your psychology, the possible evolution of your brain, let us start with the study of what is psychology. To everyone that is in the modern day age, which is me and you, we understand that psychology is divided into two systems, and every other groups that comes around it are all coming out of these two systems of psychology. Analytical psychology, and what other ones do you know? What other forms of psychology do you know? You know of the analytical psychology, but what other ones do you know? Hey, students. But anyway, the study of man as they find him, or such as they suppose man is imagined to be. That is the first form of psychology. In this modern psychology, this falls into this modern form of psychology, whether it is analytical psychology, whether it is, any behavioral psychology, all forms of psychology is all based on this one, which is what? The study of man as we find man or we imagined man to be. But there's another form of psychology, and that other form of psychology is what I'm going to be talking about today. That other form of psychology is the system which man does not start by pointing out what he thinks he is, but he starts with what he seems to be from the point of view of what he may become. Now, if I ask you a question, what do you think you are? You say, well, I'm Sukadeva. I am this, I am that. My head is this, I am wearing a black cloth, I'm wearing a yellow scarf. These are all what you are going to describe as your attributes. But what goes deeper than that? To understand what goes deeper, it is important to look at how you are, to grasp how your brain functions, to grasp what are the perception that goes on inside of you. The natural understanding of psychology is the study of principles, the principles of law and facts of man, and the possible evolution of the man. But man is not complete. A man is not a completed being. He believes he is complete, but he is not complete. For there is something inside of him that he is looking for. There is something inside of the man that he is looking for. And that thing that is inside of the man becomes the source of his restlessness. Ever ask yourself, what exactly is it that you are looking for, or you are looking to become, that hence creates a lot of restlessness inside of you? Well, we're going to say, well, I want to become successful. I want to become mentally stable. I want to become financially okay. I want to become, societally well. But there is no amount of I want to become that gives an internal satisfaction. For in all stages of I want to become is also its own suffering and its own mental tribulations. So what is it that is itching the man from within him? What is it that makes the man so restless from within himself that he's searching endlessly? And when he's not able to find it, he becomes so down that he has to start all over again. To look at this, I have written down some certain points, and I'm going to read these points to you guys. And I please advise that you please listen attentively to what I'm going to read, because I painstakingly researched on this particular topic, not just only for the guidance of you guys, but also for my own self, because these are things that goes on in my own head that I'm trying to understand. For thousands of years, psychology existed under the name of philosophy. For thousands of years. And because it existed under the name of philosophy, in India, all forms of yoga, whether it is you going to church, whether it is you going to meet a pastor, it is all philosophy. And philosophy itself is another form of psychology. When you go to meet counseling to a teacher, to a man of God, to a prophet, it is all psychology in a different form. But this psychology was not immediately recognized, and hence it was put under the name of philosophy. Psychology are described as one of the 6 systems of philosophy. The Sufi teachings, which again are chiefly psychological, are regarded as partly religious and partly metaphysical. In Europe, even quite recently, in the last decades of the 19th century, many works on psychology are referred to as philosophy. And in spite of the fact that almost all subdivisions of philosophy, such as logic, theory, cognition, and ethics, aesthetics, referred to the work of human senses, how many forms of philosophy do you think existed? Juliana, how many forms of philosophy do you think existed? There are 6 forms of philosophy. Hinduism is not a philosophy. It is not a philosophy. Philosophy, it's not just about the words or the religion or the culture. It is about what it is trying to explain. And you will see that in philosophy, there are basically 6 points, which is what? You have the theory, you have the aesthetics. Do you understand what I mean by the aesthetics? Aesthetics, which is the visualization, what you see, what is being drawn. And then you have the logic, you have cognition, you have ethics. All of these are all what makes up of what? Philosophy. And guess what? All of these are all what makes a man's mental psychological pattern changes. What is religion without art? Can religion be beautiful, sweet, without art? Have you ever thought of that? Can religion, or whatever religion you follow, can it be beautiful without art? Impossible. Art is what makes religion, is what adds to religion, and hence makes it beautiful. And all of these are all part of what? Aesthetics, cognition of what you see. What you see stimulates what you think about. What you think about stimulates how you want to mentally, emotionally relate to that particular thing. And these 6 forms are all what we are basically trying to go towards. You get attracted towards God because of the way people sing about God. You get attracted towards God because of the way people draw about God or people write about God. You get attracted towards God because of the logic, which is the presentation of arguments that is being spoken about that particular matter. Is it not? You get attracted towards anything that is called divine because of the ethics, which is the moral code that is attached to that. So beauty, religion, and art, which is beauty, goes hand in hand. If you remove art from religion, it has no taste. Is it not? It has no taste. Imagine you are wearing your cloth just as the fabric that it is without no color. Many of us, we buy cloth because of the color. Is it not? Not really because of the color and also how the cloth is designed. But imagine you are buying the cloth just as it is in its original thread. It will be difficult. Is it not? It will be very difficult. Just take a bunch of thread and here, this is the cloth you are wearing. It's like, oh, how is this the cloth? So the beauty of the color, the sculpting of the design are part of what makes it appealing to us, which is also the same thing with religion. And hence, parallel to this, we see that what we call as existence under the name of philosophy, psychology, existed even longer. Every form of religion that is existing in this world is all psychology. Every form of religion, every act of teaching, every act of philosophical, understanding is all psychology. Which then brings a question. What is it about psychology that it is ingrained in every religion, in every culture, in everywhere in the whole universe? Because what is psychology? It is the study of the psyche. Do you understand? The study of the psyche of man, which is the study of the mind. It is not philosophy. Philosophia is different. Psychology is the study of what? The psyche. What influences a man in this way? What makes the man fearful? What makes the man agitated? All of this are all what adds to the beauty of psychology. 95% of the time, what you gain from attending any sermon is just a psychological shift. And that is why some years ago or some time ago, I said to you all here, be mindful of the mental terrorist. I said it. I wrote it, and maybe I wrote a quote also about that. Be mindful of what? The mental terrorist. Why? Because the mental terrorist is more dangerous than the physical terrorist. The physical terrorist creates destructions. But the thing about the destruction is that it can also be rebuilt again. But the mental terrorist, when it destroys the psyche, it cannot be rebuilt again until death. Do you understand? So be mindful of the mental terrorist. Now, who are the mental terrorists? Anyone that pours words into your psyche. For that mental terrorist can condition you to act in ways that is not even of your own doing. It's not even of the way of your own, your own decisions to make. But now when you are able to truly see it, which then brings to the point that what is it about the mind of a man? What is it about the brain of a man and sound? Are you understanding me? What is it what is the connection between the mind of a man and sound? Why does sound change everything about a man? Why does sound? Yesterday, we were having, it was not yesterday, it was early this morning. We were having a conversation. It was on TikTok. And on that conversation, I asked a question. I asked a question, and that question is, what was my original face before my parents were born? How many of you remember that? What was my original face before my parents were born? Which also comes back to the question I'm going to ask you again right now. What was your original face before your parents were born? Well, every one of us say, well, I think my original face was the face of my grandfather. Because your parents were not existing. So what was the original face? What was the original face you have? Many of you have children. What was the original face of your children before they were born? You'll be like, well, then it is my face. But it goes deeper than that. And how does it go deeper than that? It goes deeper than that in the sense that the original face of your father, your original face before you were born, was simply nothing but sound. Do you understand? Your original face before your parents were born was simply nothing but sound. The original face of your children before they were born was nothing but sound. Everything that you are using to navigate the whole world is simply nothing but what? Sound. You don't use but I'm using my strength. Even your strength itself is nothing but a combination of sound. So your whole existence is all based on sound. When you sit down, what are you fighting? I'm fighting my mind. Oh, my mind is too loud. What is loud in your mind? Is it not the sound that is in the mind? If you remove the sound from the mind, is there any loudness anymore? If you remove the sound, does your mind have any problem anymore? So when you are quiet, what are you fighting? You are fighting sound. When people say words to you, what triggers your anger? Is it the action of people or the sound of people? It is the sound. For even that action itself is transformed as what? Sound. And hence, we ask this question and say, what is it with sound that affects the entirety of a human? What is it with sound that affects the psychology of a human, that affects the nature of a human, that affects everything that the human does? What is it with sound? Even when you look at a person, what you are seeing is sound. And the understanding of this sound becomes the foundation of psychology, becomes the foundation of understanding the noises of the mind, becomes the foundation of understanding the evolution of a human's brain. Sound. What sound does your brain make? Have you seen the brain of a human? Have you seen the human brain? Let me show you. If you look at the human brain, where is the sound? Where is the sound in the human brain? Any of you is a medical student here? Or if you've not yet been a medical student, you don't know. Beautiful. Waves, maybe it's just waves and frequencies, but then that is it. So frequency, what is frequency if not sound? What is wave if not sound? See the human brain. This is my brain, this is your brain. This is the function of your brain. What is the noise in the brain? What is the sound in the brain? Where does it exist? Which part of this brain is the noise? That anger, that irritation that you have, that frustration that you are having, in which part of your brain is it? It is in your brain because there is sound which is mixing with the space. Am I making sense to you? And hence, this becomes the transgression, not the transgression, it becomes the anomaly that the man is trying to understand. It becomes the confusion that plagues the man. Even when you see a person and you remember something about a person, when you see a person and you remember the person, what do you really remember? It is the sound that just by seeing that person, a sound is created. And that sound becomes the trigger of memory. What is remembrance if not memory? And because it becomes the triggers of memory, this becomes what man is trying to understand. And if we are looking at this, I'm not debating the fact that there are not many beautiful works on psychology, but psychology, to me, I would say it is the study of the sound that exists inside of the man, but the man does not know why it is there. Because this sound becomes what shifts the man, becomes what, disfigures the man, or, separate him from his different personalities. For what are your personality? The personality of a man, what is it? It is nothing but a wavelength of sound. And a wavelength of sound makes you sad. Another wavelength of sound changes your emotion. Another wavelength of sound makes you irritated. Another wavelength of sound makes you frustrated. All of these are just sound. Do you see that? What is called a split personality disorder is nothing but the different placement of sound, and every sound creates a certain scale that brings on a different personality of the man. So let us go forward. Let us explore this. It is necessary to note that all psychological systems and doctrines, those that exist or existed openly, are those that were hidden or disguised. When we talk about the occult understanding of man, the occult doctrines of ancient civilization, the occult philosophies of life, it is just all psychology. All the teachings of all the numerous religious texts, it is philosophy, isn't it? But it is also psychology. Why is it psychology? Because it invokes something inside of you that the moment you read it, you have to read it with a certain meter. In the ancient days, there is a certain way of reading scriptures. And this way of reading scriptures is with a certain meter. A certain meter, just like you have the Quran. If you want to read the Quran, you have to read it with a meter. Is it not? The Arabic symbolization, it is with a meter. The same thing also with the Bhagavad Gita. The same thing also with the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita, Gita means what? Song. The Gita means song. So Bhagavad Gita, it did not say the words of God. It says the song of God. And guess what? What is every one of us doing? We are all singing, but think that we are talking. Are you understanding? We are all singing, but we think that we are talking. For every time you are talking with a person, you see, everybody has a certain decibel in their voice, a certain vibration of metronomes, bass, and, all of the terminologies of, music. But what? It is all song. It is all what? Song. And song has a vibration. When a person is angry, does the person talk slowly? No. What is that? Song. So we are swimming in the vibration of sound, which is songs, but we think that we are talking. And because we are singing, please listen attentively, you cannot understand what another person is saying. Just like if I'm from Africa, Nigeria, so when I'm speaking in the dialect of the tribe of Nigeria, let's say from the Yoruba tribe, and someone is speaking from the Hausa tribe, I don't understand it. Why? Because the song is different. It is called the words, but in reality, it is all song. And that is why you will see the ancient scriptures were not written in forms of you are reading it like dialogues. It is written in forms of meters, whereby you have to sing it. And in the beginning of our conversation today, I made us do something. I made us to bring our hands together and we recite Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All of these are all different metronomes. We put it like that, but not just metronomes. They are all different scales of understanding and awakening the divine. Even when you want to pray, please, to understand the psychology of humans' possible evolution is to understand sound. And this sound differentiates the man. So when we understand the importance of the study of man from the point of view of his possible evolution, we shall understand that the first answer to the question, what is psychology, should be that psychology is the study of the principles, laws, and fact of man's possible evolution. And in this conversation today, if time permits me, I'm going to try to, break them down and we'll look at this. To look at this, probably, let us look at something that is very fundamental. The fundamental thing is that we think we know who we are. And we believe that we know who we are. While in reality, we know nothing. A man cannot develop by himself. We believe. I know myself. Oh, I know myself. I know me. I will not talk like that. I will not behave like that. I will not think like that. We believe, we think we know who we are, but in reality, we know nothing. And that is why the ancient teacher says a man is a machine. A man is what? Is a machine. And because he is a machine, he functions on rhythms that he himself does not know how these rhythms came to be inside of him. He functions on wavelength, but he doesn't know. So now somebody will say, but if I don't want something and I don't want it, it means I don't want it. So are you saying that I don't want something and I choose not to get it? Does that mean that, I am not in control of myself? Does that mean that I don't know myself? You actually don't know. A man actually don't know. For there is something that is inside of the man. That the man, even though he is a machine, he wants to develop, but he does not know how to develop it. And because he does not know how to develop it, he keeps breaking down his body. He keeps building his body. Instinctively, this thing is there. And that is why in every birth, instinctively, there is this urge. And I'm supposed to do something, but what am I supposed to do? 85% of the time when people come to ask me question is, what is my purpose? I know I'm supposed to do something, but what is that thing that I am supposed to do? For even after being told, go and do service to people, there is still this discontentment, even after doing that service. And hence, what then do we do? To fill in that blank of, I'm not yet, there's still something missing. We add philosophy. We add philosophy to manipulate the psychology that now you are doing good for people, so that is the essence of life. But after, no matter how many times we keep doing it, there is still discontentment at the end of the day. So, because we cannot really pinpoint on what is that discontentment, we add philosophy again like a sugar coating. Oh, but you are doing good. It is the duty. Yes, you are doing it. You must understand that in this world, there's a lot of suffering. So we add philosophy again. And then we feel, okay, yeah. Now, to even make it even more deeper, we then add rituals. You know why? No matter how many times you keep doing it, you are still unhappy. You still feel sad. You still feel, morose inside of your body. Because you are not doing this ritual. Okay, so let me do the ritual. Let me pray every day, non-stop. And you've prayed every day, non-stop, every day, non-stop, every day, non-stop. You still feel that discontentment, but you try to ignore it and say, no, this is not me. I am better. Because now when you start doing that, something else starts growing up inside of you. You start seeing the situation of other people and you start comparing the situation of other people to yours, that yours is far better than that of other people. And if someone is to give you an explanation, they will ask you one of the most simplest questions, which is your life better than other people? Yes, it is. Are you suffering like other people? No. I know that there are people that are suffering more than me, so be grateful. Okay. Okay. The Buddha says, until a man finds that true answer as to all the reason why there are questions inside of him, there is no amount of philosophizing. There is no amount of religious activities. There is no amount of, prayers. There is no amount of, you call it anything. There is no amount of that he is going to do that he will ever become satisfied. And that leads him to his death. So all through the existence of the man, till when the man is going to die, he is busy asking questions. He is busy asking questions, trying to answer questions, and he dies. And hence the ancient teacher says, the day your questioning stops, you wake up and there is no question anymore. That day is the beginning of enlightenment. Do you understand? Not like today there is no question. I don't have any question. My heart is empty today. And then tomorrow there are more questions. Or for 5 minutes there is no question. And then for 10 minutes there is more questions. And then for 5 minutes again there is no question. And then for 30 minutes there is more question. That is not it. For this is the state that many of us will keep fluctuating inside. Every day we are fluctuating in between questions, answers, questions, answers, questions. And guess what? What is questions? What is answers? If not sound. What is question? What is answer? If not sound. What then do you use to trouble yourself? I said, the wheel of time functions through the what? Through the wheel of sound. Sound is what carries the wheel of time. You've heard this statement, the wheel of time, let the wheel of time move. But what is it that is moving the wheel of time? Sound. Sound is what moves the wheel of time. And hence, because we want to develop this unique sound inside of ourselves, we are not able to do it. So we look for different things. We try to attach different things inside of us. This becomes the missing link. We are trying to, it's like when you have, how many of you have seen the gear before? You've seen a gear, like a spoke. I don't know if, okay, good. So when it's not fitting properly, no matter how well designed it is not going to move because it is not fitting properly. So we all have this missing link that is inside of us, and that missing link is looking for the right sound to connect to. But no matter how much we keep trying to connect to that right sound, we keep getting confused by the sounds of other people. Are you understanding? We keep getting what? Confused. Now I want you to draw a cycle. I want you to draw a cycle. Take a pen, please, everybody. I want you to draw a cycle. Now, when you've drawn that cycle, let me see if I can also show you from my perspective over here, so we can be on the same, trajectory. Let's say you draw a cycle. You draw a cycle. You see that? Now that you've drawn that cycle, make 4 vertical lines in it, like this. Now, when you've made these 4 lines, make 4 lines inside the cycle. When you've made it, now divide that line into 4. Divide it. Now, after dividing it into 4, now put an eye on each point. Put an eye and fill it all. Do you see this? Fill it all with I. I. After filling it, the I represents you. This cycle represents your brain. It basically not just only does it represent your brain, it represents the splitted and the multiple you that is existing all the time. And how you keep changing your eyes at every 30 seconds. The you that started this class with me and the you that is here now, what is the difference? What is the first Eddie Queen that started the class? And the Eddie Queen that is here currently right now, what is the difference? Do you know how many times you've changed yourself? Different eyes of you have come to the surface for just these few minutes that we've started this conversation, from the beginning of the conversation till now. How different versions of you, to all of you that is listening, how different versions of you keeps popping up. It stays for some time and then goes back again to sleep, and then another version pops up. the different eyes of you. And these different eyes occupy different spaces in your life. They occupy what? Different spaces. They are the controlling center. And hence, you don't have a permanent ego. You say, what is the most disturbing thing in the life of a man? It is his ego. But there is no permanent ego, for the ego keeps changing. Is it not? The ego keeps changing. Your ego, when you started this conversation with me, and your ego now is not the same. Your ego, when you started drawing the cycle, and the ego that is listening now is a different ego. It is not the same ego. So the ego keeps changing, and because the ego keeps changing, this ego is also connected to every thought, every feelings. And hence, I said, how can you that have not yet understood yourself expect another person to understand you? It is one of the most problems. Sometimes my wife fights with me on this. You don't understand me. And I said to her, but you don't understand yourself. How can you that have not understand yourself expect me that is still struggling to understand himself to understand you? But that is the reality. Because we all want, we all want people to understand us. But then the question is, which version of us do we want people to understand? Are you getting the point now? We want people to understand us. But the question is, which version of your I? Because just look at it. You are splitted in many versions. There's so many eyes of you that comes up every day. You're splitted. So which of your I are you wanting people to understand? Which of your ego, which is your I am this, I am that, I am from here, I am this person, I am that person. So which of these I are you wanting people to understand? Which one of it? Is it the I that is awake now, or the I that is going to sleep in 30 seconds from now? Which of the I? And because the eyes are different, that is why you will be doing something in the kitchen. All of a sudden, you remember you want to take something in your room. You go to your room and you don't know why you why you came to the room. Have you experienced that? All of a sudden, you were in the kitchen. Something popped up on your head and you went into the room. But then you just start standing in the room and start like, but why did I come inside the room? What was I looking for? You just stood like that and you just going around and looking everywhere. But why did you come into the room? You don't know. You cannot really remember what actually brought you into the room. You're just fixed like this. Has it happened to any of you? Huh? Or maybe you were wanting to read a book. And all of a sudden you took the book and you want to read. And all of a sudden your brain just went blank. And you're just looking at the book. You are seeing the letters, but you are not able to read it. You're just blank. You'll be like, but why did I carry the book? What was I looking for? What was I looking for? Yeah, what is it? What? You cannot remember. Because what? Your eyes keep shifting and they keep sleeping. It keeps shifting, it keeps sleeping. Why? Because man is mechanical. To understand the psychology of man's possible evolution is to first understand the mechanicalness of him that is operating on what? Sound. And this sound splits him. How many minutes have I been here? I don't want to take too long today. This sound splits him. And hence, let me ask you a simple question. What is the question? Which of your I are you using to hear me right now? Which of your eye? Sorry? The eye of sound. But that is also splitted. It is the ego, but it's also splitted. So which of your ego is actually active right now hearing me? Is it the ego that is looking at the time? Is it the ego that is thinking, what am I going to eat right now? Is it the ego that is looking at your mobile phone? Is it the ego that is, which of the ego? The body is there, but there are different eyes that are taking up different personality every moment, every sign, every moment. I'm going to stop here because I think it's already 1 hour. Is it up to 1 hour already? So I can give space for questions. It's going to 1 hour. So let me stop here. We'll continue this next Friday. Please remind me, or maybe we'll continue this on TikTok. Thank you very much. And all good wishes fly to you. I am open to your questions now.